You're listening to Background Noise.
Background noise?
Yeah, Background Noise.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Background Noise podcast. My name is Steven. I'm the host, and I will be with you guys for an awesome episode today. We have a few topics to touch on, some of which are, sports, Patriots. We got the Western Conference Finals. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Victor Wembanyama going crazy. We got another virus. Is this COVID 2.0 happening on a cruise ship? What's going on over there? And then we got some Michael Jackson movie talks and Billie Eilish, just a whole bunch of stuff. We're going to get into all of that. But before we do, I want to remind you guys to subscribe to the channel because we have a lot more going on this channel than just the podcast. 2K gameplays, we got reactions, productions, photo shoots, creative stuff, video games, live sports, the whole thing. So subscribe. There's a lot going on this channel. There's a movement that we're pushing, the Seventh Hour brand. And so subscribe and like the video because it definitely helps. Comment right into the show. Background Noise Podcast at SEVENTHAURA.com. If you want to be involved in the show, right? Your questions, ask me anything. If you guys want to send pictures, videos, art, and stuff for me to talk about, review, look at, appreciate, whatever, let me know. And then SEVENTHOURA.com. Feel free to browse the collection. There we have pieces of clothing and some art, and some stickers, just a couple of things here and there. And that is to help the mission move forward, and the mission is the awareness that art comes from within. That's what Seventh Hour stands for, and Seventh Hour is the belief to continue on in your creative journey and your creative discovery and your self-discovery. And so Seventh Hour, again, the brand is surrounded by that belief, and that's the definition of it. So browse the collection there, shop, buy whatever you want to buy. It's great gifts, great stuff, cool things there. And everything is made to order. So expect slightly longer wait times when you order something on there, but I promise you it will get to you. Okay. Well, I mean, we got some pretty great topics to get into. So without further ado, let's kind of get in with a nice little temperature check. But look at the little time codes. I'm going to do my best to put them in there for you guys. That way you guys can get straight to the topics that we're talking about. Peace. Love you guys. And wait. Yeah, I mean, let's get straight into it, man. I'm thinking I'm going to recap my week, or I guess what it's been like since our last formal sit down episode. I'm thinking about I started to make Lakers playoff videos, and they just kind of went pretty good, dude. I was kind of excited to see how well they were being received. I think on social media, like the vertical platforms, they were doing pretty good, and I've seen that kind of success before happen with the Lakers videos. But I mean, it was nice. It was refreshing to see that. And then towards the last podcast episode that I did, I think, or you know what? I think it was one that I did with Frania, and it was the little split screen episode. I ended up clipping that, like the segments that we were talking about. That was like the first time that I tried to introduce, kind of sort of reading a little segment before, or reading a little bit of context before we talk about a segment. And that way it's a little bit more easier to clip and stuff. I did that there. And then I started to clip those pretty much longer clips, YouTube videos, 10, 20 minutes at a time. Well, depending on how long we talk about the stuff. I started to do that. Anyways, long story short, that caused me to do that for the Lakers videos. And then, man, that started to do really well. And I was excited, man. But the Lakers, I feel like the hype died down heavily, man, because the Lakers didn't do too well. So I guess the folks that are watching those videos, obviously if the Lakers ain't doing well, I'm the same, dude. If the teams aren't doing well that I'm rooting for, it's kind of it's hard to continue watching, except for this year. But yeah, man, I was hitting it hard doing those videos. And so that mixed with life and family, work, it was kind of difficult to do that. And then the podcast and all the other things that I got going on. But I'm glad to find the balance in the schedule. I mean, I think that's what this is all about, dude. I mean, just trying to figure it out, man. Just trying to figure it out, develop my own system that works for me with the things that I want to do, the things that I'm passionate about. And so yeah, man, been busy with that, with the Lakers. Disappointed, man. The Lakers getting knocked out of the playoffs, that was disappointing. But I Luka Doncic, we talked about all that. Luka Doncic being hurt, it is what it is. But oh well. But yeah, dude, I've been real inspired lately, man. Real inspired just to connect back to my creativity. And I think a lot about the times of me playing the trumpet and thinking about the impact that had for myself, what that did for me, and and hearing also what people kind of like with their thoughts about me and me playing the trumpet and how it impacted them. I have people that have reached out to me to tell me that, like, man, I remember when you'd play the trumpet and how much like it would connect with my heart and how God would use the sound of my trumpet to, like, you know, really impact lives. And that's beautiful. But for me, what I'm starting to realize now is that, like, trumpet was a way for me, was like a deeper way to express what I got inside. You know what I mean? Like, the reason why I do videos, the reason why I want to do this and talk to you guys about whatever is because I feel so passionate about what I have inside. And I think a big part of me and like my life right now is kind of figuring out like what that is and like how I can express that and like what's the best way, because I feel like I'm decent about making YouTube videos. I feel like I can do that. I feel like I'm decent about playing the trumpet. I can do that. I feel like I'm decent at different little things, you know, like I'm good at little things here and there, but where can I truly like outlet that passion? And I think back at the trumpet, I've been thinking about that a lot lately, the trumpet, and it's like I had that there, like being able to feel and express on a different level, dude. Like, man, for those of you guys that are not musicians out there, man, I implore you to try to pick up an instrument, dude. Any kind of, it's never too late to learn a full-on instrument, guitar, piano, whatever. But it don't even got to be that deep. Just get like something that you can create a sound with, and then contribute that sound to more sounds that you're hearing. Music, playing music, hello. Man, there's something deep about that, being able to like passionately play, and then the more you practice, then you become a little bit more skilled, and so you get more versed in that language. I remember growing up, my uncle used to tell me like, oh, you know, that music is a language, and you need to be able to, you want to be able to, like any language, to read, write, and express, you know? So the more skilled you get at an instrument, the more you're able to like to really say what you want to say with the instrument. And so I've been connecting a lot with that lately because I saw the Michael Jackson movie, and man, that movie was inspirational, dude. Speaking of which, the 2026 biographical drama Michael, directed by Antoine Fuqua and starring Michael Jackson's nephew Jafar Jackson as the King of Pop, covers Jackson's early life from the Jackson 5 era through the Bad Tour. Released in theaters around April 2026, it's a polished, estate-backed look at his rise to global superstardom that highlights his talent and performances while drawing some criticism for a sanitized portrayal of Michael's life. So I saw the Michael Jackson movie, and oh my God, that movie left me feeling ultra inspired. It's like I was born in 95, and so I don't know, like I say that because by the time that I was like growing up and becoming like conscious of like music and life and like let me like start experiencing music and stuff, Michael Jackson obviously was already huge, but it was already like in his later years where he was already like had gone through all kinds of public drama, and he's kind of hidden away. And so he wasn't really like present as like artists that I'm currently actively like listening to. And then me personally, dude, like because I played music, you know, and I was always practicing music, and I had practices like by myself and then practices with the band and the group, and always music everywhere. I've always felt like, man, like I wouldn't listen to a ton of music whenever I wasn't like practicing or having to. And so I just say that to say that I don't know, I've appreciated Michael Jackson from the This Is It documentary, but it wasn't as deep as what I feel now and so inspired by. I mean, I saw that movie and it was so beautiful to get like another representation or another reminder of Michael Jackson, because what left me so impacted about the Michael Jackson movie was just to see and to understand that Michael Jackson was a person that understood that he had passion inside, but he was so talented and so disciplined that he was fully able to lock in on his passion and express it. Like, he was so strict about what he wanted to hear and feel and portray and what the message was. It's like, that is like max potential. Like, it was just incredible to see, because you think about it, I mean, he had the discipline. Hot take: Michael Jackson doesn't become Michael Jackson if it wasn't for Joseph Jackson. I mean, say what you want about the man, and look, bro has done a lot of questionable things. I'm talking about Joseph Jackson. In no way is this an endorsement of the man himself, but what you cannot lie about is the fact that that mega discipline and that harsh brutality that he had about Michael Jackson never having a childhood, and I believe those things to be true. I don't want to make it sound like I'm saying this in a way that's like belittling what Michael Jackson went through at all. But that type of discipline that he instilled in Michael was crucial, and it never left. So I recommend, for the side note, for those of you guys that saw the Michael Jackson movie that just came out, go watch This Is It, the documentary. Go and watch This Is It. It covers the behind the scenes of like the preparation for the final tour that he was going to have, the This Is It tour, which he passed away before it was able to go into effect. 50 sold out shows in London in a matter of hours, bro. Estimated to generate over $500 million, that tour. Incredible. Anyways, you can see how there's a clip of Michael and he's talking to his pianist. Mind you, these musicians are at the top of the line. I'm talking fantastic musicians. Everyone knows that when Michael Jackson was alive, if you were privileged enough to be his musician or his singer or a dancer for him, you're the best. The best. So there's this clip from the This Is It documentary where he's kind of playing the song. I think it's The Way You Make Me. And then what's crazy about it, he's playing it perfect, but Michael Jackson's kind of like, I don't know, I don't feel it. Like, give me a little bit more syncopation, a little bit more like slightly offbeat to give it that little, like, give it a little bit of spunk, right? All right, he plays it a little bit more. He does what Michael's asking him to do. And then Michael goes into a different level of want, and he's pulling out of this musician. And he says, he's like, no, like, I just needed to feel, I just need you to put a little bit more kick to it. And it's funny because he's like, you know, you want a little bit more booty on that, Michael? He said booty. He said booty. That's my Michael Jackson impression. But anyway, so Michael starts to say, like, no, like, I wanted to sound like what it sounds like in the record. I want people to hear what they expect to hear. And you gotta understand, these musicians are the best. They're playing it perfect. But what he was asking of them is to play it with that feel. He was trying to pull out that sensation. And then all of a sudden he starts to kind of get it, right? They start communicating through it and, okay, ready? Let's go. And then all of a sudden you see Michael, because he's in the middle of a back and forth. He just kind of goes off into his zone and starts to kind of like dance. And I was talking about it. I'm like, bro, he literally took the beat for a spin. Like, he was hearing the music. First of all, give me a little bit more of this. Okay, no, I need a little bit more of the unknown, a little bit more of the thing you can't quantify. Okay, finally gets it. He says, let me see. Let me take it for a little spin, just to try to groove on it, dance on it, and then said, we'll get it right. For me, that moment is so impactful because of all the things I'm saying. It's like, these musicians are fantastic. They're excellent musicians. But Michael is so precise and careful about what he needs to hear, because that's the difference. That's the difference between being an artist that can sell out a stadium versus an artist that can sell out a tour and have people passing out, bro. Like, it's insane, dude. It's beautiful to see. I think the This Is It documentary is definitely one that you gotta watch. You gotta watch it. I mean, because it's the movie was awesome, and I truly enjoyed it. I think that it was awesome. It was cool to see. But if you watch This Is It documentary, you're watching Michael actually do it, like the actual Michael Jackson do it, which is freaking amazing. I'm so glad that Michael Jackson, there was enough of footage of his concerts and behind the scenes and stuff like that for us to be able to enjoy even now. But I thought that was awesome. So Michael isn't Michael without Joseph, low key. But let me see what else I think. Jafar's Michael. I put that as my little like thing to remember. I want to hear who is Jafar Jackson's Michael. And what I mean by that is that, like, we all know who Michael Jackson is. We appreciate his music. We're fans. We're excited about whatever. We know the albums and the storylines. And I mean, yeah, it's the regular. He's a famous guy. The parasocial relationship, we think we know who he is. And so we have this feeling of entitlement towards Michael. But I want to know who Jafar Jackson knows as Michael Jackson. He knows a different Michael. He knows a different Michael. Well, hopefully, that's the thing. Hopefully, it doesn't sound like, from the interviews that I've seen, it doesn't sound like he knows too much about him. But he knows a version of him, and that's what I want to know. I want to know the version that he feels, because I've been seeing, obviously, Jafar's been on a press tour promoting the movie, but like throughout this press tour, you see like folks trying to like almost like school him on like, oh yeah, like, oh, it's okay that you don't know. Like, we get that. You know, you were a kid. Let me tell you, this was impactful because of this, and this was, culturally important because of that. And Michael did. No. Like, let's not, bro. Like, let's not define what Michael is to him. Like, I'm curious and excited to know. Okay, where was I at? Jafar Jackson. Yeah. So I guess what I was trying to say is that I want to know who he knows Michael Jackson to be. You know what I mean? Like, we're so easy to define who he is because we all know who he is or who he portrayed himself to be out in the internet. But yeah, it gets a little difficult because he does sort of admit and talk about how he doesn't know too much. He was given access to Michael's personal files in prep for the movie, where it's kind of like, okay, I thought you'd have known, but whatever, dude. That's cool. Hey, but you know what? What about what is it, Fabio? Is it Fabio, the guy who feels entitled to the image of Michael Jackson, bro? There's some clips of this impersonator of Michael Jackson, and I think that he felt kind of like slighted when he wasn't asked to portray Michael in the movie, because he feels like he looks more like him and he knows more of his micro movements and stuff. But hey, if you want to portray Michael Jackson, you got to have some pep in your step, pops. You got to have some of that little move, some of that swagger, because it kind of don't look like that impersonator got that swag to him. You know what I'm saying? He don't look like he got that ability to kind of pop it and drop it and then, you know what I'm saying? Dude, but on the Michael Jackson topic, dude, I feel so inspired. I feel like I almost want to learn how to do a couple of them little moves, just kind of whatever, dude. Man, there's some performances where he's doing, I think it's in the Earth song, where the choir is saying like, "What about us? What about us?" And then he's saying whatever. He's saying like talking about topics and stuff. He's like shouting top of his lungs. Man, dude, I don't know. It's just, when I see Michael Jackson perform now, obviously I've never seen him in concert. I wish I would have been able to do it though. Like it looks like such a show, such a performance. Like, it's not even that he's like singing songs necessarily. He's like it's like, it almost looks like a play. Some of them look like plays. Like, what? Like if you went to Broadway or something, which is amazing. And then the dancing, bro, Michael Jackson had a type of swag it's funny, dude. It's funny because he portrayed himself so sweet. You don't think of Michael Jackson being that way, bro. But there's some clips of him pointing out the fish. I guess that's what he called the ladies. You know, that's what he called the female nature. He called them fish. And there's a video of him kind of like, "Oh, that's a good fish over there." Or there's a clip where some fans like trying to jump into the limo with bro and says, "Oh my God, I just want to give you a hug." You say you gave me more than that. Michael, bad. Which is funny to see, because I don't know. I just never got that that portrayal of him, bro. It's funny. But man, dude, bro's a passionate guy, dude. Freaking A. Or the other clip of Michael shopping for stuff, and he's talking about those, and I want those, 2 of those. The for sale means they're mine. And oh yeah, Michael, good choice. They're only 250,000 each, and it's like, oh, we're getting 2 of those, and those over there, and we want these and those, and what? Or Chris Tucker and his impersonations of Michael Jackson are funny, dude. They're funny. I don't even want to try to, I can't do that, but they're funny, dude. But yeah, dude, some of his choreograph for the song Dangerous, I'm like, dude, it's like smooth. The ability to like, oh, dude. I love it, man. I love it. I'm inspired by that, dude. And I feel that we have a little bit of that. I mean, you can see the folks that he was able to inspire. Like Kanye, you see about Kanye, man, I also love like what Kanye does. He's just in control of his entire show, like the music, and he knows his music left and right, and he knows the theory behind the actual music. Like, I don't know, it's cool. So I felt so inspired. Another thing that I want to say, and this you can kind of sort of get from the This Is It documentary. Well, that tour was being directed and produced by Kenny Ortega. Kenny Ortega is the producer, the mind behind High School Musical. And so when This Is It was happening, that's fresh off of High School Musical. And you gotta try to let me set this context up. High School Musical, when that was fresh, was like a massive hit. And it was culturally relevant everywhere. Like Zac Efron, dude, the whole thing. We're so fly. That was big time. And so fresh off of that, he's producing This Is It, and I loved to see that role. I mean, just that look behind the scenes. Kenny Ortega was kind of able to capture the vision of what Michael wanted, and then from there protect the integrity of what he believed Michael wanted to see, feel, experience, and whatever, and then relay that message to the crew, the camera operators, the lights, sound, whatever. So he was the guy to let Michael, be great, be in your element, be a star, do whatever you need to do to get in your mode. Let me figure this, whatever you need out, and then relay that message in the technical terms, not the fancy creative, oh my gosh, like give me more sizzle. No, hey, add a little bit more. You know what I mean? Like, he was the interpreter for Michael, and it was awesome to see that, because I don't know, like, I love to see and understand how things work. And so when you look at the team that it takes to do a Michael Jackson performance, and not just the number of people, because you're gonna need numbers and manpower, but you need folks that also have it. Like, I think about Kenny Ortega, bro has it, whatever that is. And it's not that he has it because he's gonna go and perform a song and like wow you in that way. No, he has it in that he's able to understand that language of a creative super duper Michael Jackson, but then also understand the language of an analytical, less passionate, more like numbers oriented or whatever, lighting tech or whatever. That's that they don't all come out the same, right? That sounds easy in concept, but like, put yourself in the scenarios where the artist is complaining for something, you can hear that. These are all things that you can observe from the Michael Jackson This Is It documentary, where he's explaining the intro to the show, and he's like, okay, well, this is gonna happen, the astronauts, what's gonna happen, and then we're gonna do this, and then the sound is gonna start, the crowd's gonna do this, and well, he's just kind of laying down how the show is gonna start, and then Michael corrects him and talking about, like, no, I want it to start on my cue, like, I want to start that. And he's like, okay, Michael, I've been telling the band that it was gonna start on this count, but did you want to change this? What would you like instead? And then Michael starts telling him this, complaining about that. And he's just totally like catering to Michael, which is a skill. And then you see how he then relates that to everybody. Anyways, it's just awesome to see, dude. I love that. I love that. But great movie. I think it's worth another watch. I want to hear it with more sound. But that's got to be paired with This Is It. Good movie though. Definitely great movie. I believe that art lives within every soul, within you, and it's not just what you create, it's who you are. SEVENTHAURA exists to affirm that truth, to remind you and the world to embrace your inner creativity and to pursue your one wild and precious life. Every piece we make is an invitation that becomes a declaration of one simple truth. You are art. Head to SEVENTHAURA.com and explore the collection today, because you are the art that the world needs. And speaking on musical documentaries and movies, Billie Eilish, Hit Me Hard and Soft, the tour live in 3D, is a 2026 concert film co-directed by Billie Eilish and James Cameron. It captures highlights from her sold-out world tour in immersive 3D and hits theaters in early May 2026, offering fans an innovative big screen experience of her performances. So Billie Eilish came up with her movie, and I think it was awesome, dude. Like, the collaboration with James Cameron, for those of you guys that don't know who he is, and I feel like it's important to provide context because I don't really think Billie Eilish fans fully know who James Cameron is. Well, he directed Avatar. He's a big movie director, pretty much. And I feel like in today and age, that's almost less important than it was back then. But dude, having the big name director for obviously folks that care about the production side of movies is huge. I mean, he's a huge name. It's a big old thing. But whenever you have a super huge famous name and director like that, a lot of times what they'll do is kind of like sell their name literally to be put on the production. Hey, directed by James Cameron, just to get more people in because he's a big known guy. Which is funny because I think that times have changed where I don't know that it has the same effect. I think people are when you see Billie Eilish and James Cameron, a lot more people are seeing Billie Eilish. Anyways, I think that it's possible a lot of times for those things to be kind of fluky just to kind of get more butts and seats. But immediately upon watching this movie, you can see the James Cameron effect in full display. I mean, the shots were they were wonderful. I mean, it was crispy clear. Like, I was blown away on how good it looked. Like, the 3D made the isolation effect, because like when I get near, you see how the background gets blurry? Yeah, well, that is a feature that people that do productions really, really want. And it's not super hard to achieve. But the point is that this looks juicy and crispy. It gives you the impression of quality. And that is a thing that's known across movies, YouTube videos, any level. As soon as you start to get into production, you'll learn that pretty quick. Well, adding 3D to this, because this is already isolated. It's almost like I'm not 3D, but it's like I'm very isolated, obviously. But you add 3D to this, and it added a dimension of quality that was like, ooh, it was nice to look at, dude. It was wonderful. The shots were great, and the angles were different, and like they were moving shots, and it looked so cool because, you know, your boy, we was able to see the concert 2 times. Me and baby went, we flew to LA and we drove to Austin. And so we saw the concert twice. In LA, we were in GA, so we were floor seats up and close. You know what I'm saying? We got to dap up Billie Bean Eilish. And then when we saw it in Austin, we were actually like in I guess you can call them nosebleeds, although they were great seats. And we were there intentionally because we wanted to get better audio. We wanted to hear the show better. Well, this, I mean, you get the best of both worlds, but it gives even a different angle. It looked different. It looked brand new, which is crazy because when we saw it twice from far to see the whole production from close, but it was so nice to see. What I will say about the movie also is that we were just talking about Michael Jackson and This Is It. And in the This Is It documentary for Michael Jackson, it's a lot. It's primarily the behind the scenes. Like, it's the rehearsals. It was footage that was put together from his rehearsals. And so you're getting a lot of him talking to the band and him perfecting his craft and being frustrated with this and something messing up and, okay, let's do this instead. And it's a lot of that. And then you get a cool like montage of sometimes a full song, sometimes, you know, a good portion of it, half or whatever, but it's primarily the behind the scenes. Well, Billie Eilish's movie is the opposite by far, like dramatically the opposite. It's pretty much a concert film, which it says it. So there's no deception in that. But I was just under the impression, I mean, I thought Justin Bieber's movie, which one was it? Never Say Never. And then I think This Is It. Those are really the only 2 that I've ever like seen. Like concert movies, behind the scene movies or whatever. And so I thought that was what this was, but no, there's a small amount of behind the scenes, but not too much. Again, it's not falsely advertised. It kind of says it, like the concert in 3D, but I want more behind the scenes, dude. That's the stuff that I want to see. Like, I want to see, you know, Billie's version of that, what I was seeing with Michael, you know what I mean? Like the just whatever, like it's not even like your thoughts on something, but see it happen. Like, I want to see her rehearsing and being, no, we need this and we need that. And you see pieces of it. Like, there are some small little montages of her directing the thing, telling James Cameron like, hey, we're going to want another shot coming from here, so we might need to do this and have that person there. And yeah, hey, well, it's your vision, Billie, and we'll make it happen. And whatever, like you see that little clip, but it's really just that. For what it is, it's great. If you didn't get to see the concert, and that's what I was telling, me and Farney were talking about it. It's like, if you didn't get to see the concert, then it's fantastic because there you go, you're gonna see it. But I need another movie to come out and it be the actual behind the scenes. That's what I want to see. And I think that's what a lot of fans want to see. Also, there were some folks in there talking about like their testimonials of what Billy's done for them in their life. And look, you know me and my girl, we're Billie Eilish fans for sure. And we love the songs and they're freaking awesome and you feel lit as hell. But that's what it does for me. It makes me feel lit. It makes me feel dope and cool, whatever. But I mean, you got folks in their their testimonies, but I mean, I'm calling them testimonies because and how Billy healed me and saved me and whoa. So look, hey, you know what? I don't think I've had that type of connection to a musical artist, but I don't doubt that's your experience. That just seemed like a little much, you know what I'm saying? But hey, another thing that I think about the Billie Eilish movie, Billie Eilish needs herself a Kenny Ortega type of person. We were talking about how Michael Jackson in the This Is It documentary has Kenny Ortega producing the show, meaning his responsibility is to understand Michael's creative language, how he expresses himself and what he means when he says, I need a little bit more ass on that beat. What does that mean? Well, you hire a Kenny Ortega to understand that and to translate that in technical terms to the bass player or to the whoever. Hey, drop the string, whatever, you know what I mean? Because a creative person's gonna be, man, I need more sizzle, I need dazzle. I need this thing to feel blue. What does that mean? And I want the color to be green, but it's to feel blue. That's how creative folks talk about. That's how they talk. And so you see in the This Is It documentary, Kenny Ortega do that wonderfully for Michael Jackson. And I really felt that Billie Eilish could benefit from that type of person. Because when I saw that clip, that's what really did it for me. Where she was telling James Cameron, she was doing the technical directing of, we need a shot here, and then we're gonna need the camera to twirl over there and whatever. And then James Cameron was more like the video of the camera operator, like, okay, cool, we're gonna do that for you. Where it felt like, no, James Cameron was supposed to be the one saying that to the camera operator. Meanwhile, he's trying to understand Billy while she's saying something more dazzling and stuff. So let me kind of like package my thoughts. Yeah, it just felt like there was a disconnect between Cameron and Billy. I don't know, like they were just nice shots of the concert, but then again, it's a concert film. So if it's a concert film, it was cool. I just feel like there was more. We could have gotten a little bit more. There could have been more there. And for Billie and her production and her show, she talks about how she likes the solo, like not having much on the stage and just the empowerment of seeing how she should see rappers be just solo on the stage and the crowd goes wild. You know what I mean? And how she has said, I've never seen a woman do that. And I think that's beautiful. That's powerful. That's good. And so I don't necessarily need her to have dancers and all kinds of stuff on stage. But for example, think about this. Think about what Kanye West does. He's the same thing. He's just one person on there, but it's different. I mean, if you look at his tours, bro's on top of the earth and it's projecting different this and that. And you look at Kanye West's production and show, it's different than but he's also just a solo person hyping up the crowd, and he does that. So I think it's possible for Billie to have what she wants, but it looks different than what it looks like now. And I think there's a huge opportunity, a ginormous opportunity, but she just needs to find her Kenny Ortega that can understand that vision and connect with her and make it happen. Because I do think that there's an opportunity. That's what, like, the biggest thing that I was left with was that it was awesome to see the concert again. That was cool. There was a moment that I said, like, oh, okay, this is just gonna be the concert. Again, it says that. I want to say that I understand that. I just like, man, I want to see more behind the scenes. And then adding to that, as far as her tour and her production, man, let's hook her up with a creative mind and take it to the next level. Also, I want to say this. Oh my gosh, I almost forgot. Dude, Phineas and Billy need to stop playing around and just do music together and be happy. Like I think that would, like, everyone wants that to happen. We all want to see that happen. Just be lit and be together. I saw Phineas on Benny Blanco's podcast, and he was talking about how growing up, he's always had like separation anxiety. And I'm thinking, so this must be eating him alive. The fact that he's not doing the concerts with Billy, like, that must be like totally like terrorizing him. Like, you got to feel attached if you guys done what you guys are doing together. And then all of a sudden now it almost feels like him doing this is like they're human just like us. It feels like a character development type of like, I'm going to intentionally go this way because he wants this more like self-discover and like, no, like I need to be able to be me. No, bro. Like, I feel like, look, just, no, man, you guys got to be together. Like, or do you for sure? I'm so down for Phineas to continue discovering himself and his artistry. But that doesn't mean you don't tour with Billy, bro. Like the squad being there, when they're together, it's just the littest thing. Like, we just need Billy and Phineas, just them two on the stage, and just, I don't know. But yeah, dude. It's like they love touring together, but they're not, and I get it. They want to just live their own lives, but it's like, what's so bad about like doing that together though? I don't know. But the Billie Eilish movie was awesome. The Cameron effect, more behind the scenes. Yeah, that's pretty much my thoughts on what I think about that. I'm gonna get Baby on the podcast, and there's a bit more that I want to say about Sir James Cameron and my thoughts about everything, but we'll get to that. We're gonna save that. This is a deeper theory and conspiracy that me and Baby have about the Billie Eilish movie and stuff. So we'll see if we get into that in another episode. I'll probably have her on the next episode. But yeah, we're most likely gonna bring that up. So yeah, stay tuned for that.
What's good, everybody? It's your boy Space City Steve. Look, don't forget to hit that subscribe button right here so you don't miss out on any Seventh Hour productions. Hit that subscribe button right here. And remember, it ain't but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7th Hour, baby. Let's go.
Spirit Airlines, the ultra-low-cost carrier known for its bright yellow planes and no-frills fares, officially ceased operations on May 2nd, 2026 after 34 years. The shutdown followed the failure of last-minute bailout talks, high fuel costs, and ongoing financial struggles, resulting in all flights being canceled, thousands of passengers scrambling for refunds or rebooking, and about 17,000 employees losing their jobs. First and foremost, my heart goes out to the people that have been affected by this, like the employees losing their jobs. So I feel like I have a jokeful take on what I think about this, but like, I do know the impact that this can have on people. And so for them, I hope for all those people that there's a way that you guys are compensated that's different than a regular, like, I don't know, unemployment because of like the crazy circumstances. I don't know how that works. So, but for those of you guys, hope you guys land safely on your feet. And you guys are fairly compensated for this thing happening. But Spirit Airlines going down, my Lord, I feel like Spirit Airlines could have just rebranded and called themselves Influencer Airlines, baby, because that I feel like is what everybody and their mama was flying, especially during COVID. I was shocked to find out that Spirit Airlines was going on for 34 years. Like, for me, they were a COVID pop-up for me. I just was never really aware of them, and that is because there was a large portion of my life that I was traveling. Like when I was in my teenage years, I was in airports a lot. Yeah, like I wasn't the one buying the tickets or anything, but like still, they were new to me. And hey, me calling them Influencer Airlines, I ain't talking crap because your boy was on that. Like Spirit Airlines, look, for as much as everybody likes to talk crap about Spirit Airlines, hey, when I flew from LA to Houston for $14 round trip, that is when I knew Spirit Airlines was the real deal. Now, what I will say is that the memes are accurate. I'm talking about the seats were barely like, weren't they saying that they were wanting to explore options of removing the seats altogether and have a standing for like the shorter flights? I mean, Spirit Airlines, the memes is true. If y'all never got to experience that, that's on you. But yeah, dude, those flights were pretty raunchy. It's funny because my mom and I, we happen to notice that, cause my mom a little different. She cut from a different cloth. She'd be flying, the United, the fancy airlines. You know what I'm saying? And I remember one time I picked her up from the airport. I said, "Damn, you said you landed, and you were you were already outside of the plane like forever ago. Like it took you a minute." And she's like, "Yeah, well, there's this long old walkway." And I'm thinking, okay, cool. It wasn't until I was sent on a work trip somewhere and they booked me through United that I walked through, and the terminal for United has all these fancy shops. I mean, the gifts and the perfumes and like the little like luxury stores where you can go buy like a suit and stuff. They had all of those shops, and it's a long walkway. Get your shoes shine. Even the little puestos that are in the middle where they sell the magazines and the food and the waters and snacks and stuff. I'm thinking, bro, what? Like, that's what we get there? But then when you look at the Spirit Airlines like terminal, first and foremost, it's short, and it spits you right out. I mean, it looks run down, and they spit you right out. Get up out my airport. If you flying Spirit, I know you're not spending nothing, so we're not wasting no time trying to advertise nothing to you. And that's what we figured it was. Get up out my airport immediately. Like, they knew that, look, we're not making no money from them after the fact, after they're off that plane. Look, you decided to fly Spirit, you hopping out that and going straight to your destination. You're not waiting to spend nothing, because you know damn well that the same bag of chips costs $6 less at the Walmart. So we're not doing that. But it's true. It's true. Like, notice that, dude. The United ones are long and fancy and whatever, and the Spirit Airlines, man. But RIP to Spirit, man. I'm trying to think about who takes their place, because you know, there's got to be another one. There's got to be another one coming up. They're not gonna miss the opportunity to sell those cheap flights, because I feel like Spirit was booming. It's kind of taking me by surprise, the fact that they pulled the rug. I feel like more people that were flying Spirit than would like to admit. I'll say it. When I was first flying Spirit, man, I remember I took a picture of the wing and I saw the little yellow, and I said, what other airline has yellow on the wing? I'm like, I don't think there is. So let me kind of angle this picture this way. Cuts off that yellow piece, looks like a regular wing. Just so I don't expose the fact that I'm on Spirit. That's how I was in the beginning. Obviously developed later to think like, hey man, you know what? Look, if it's gonna get me there, because man, spending a ridiculous amount of money to fly to where you're gonna then vacation and want to spend your money is ridiculous. Like, what am I gonna spend thousands of dollars to get to a place when I can spend thousands less to get there? And then I'd rather spend the thousands where I'm at. Let me get a better Airbnb. Let me get a better beach access. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, man, Spirit was lit for a cool minute. During COVID, being able to fly, especially during that time, like me moving to Houston, I mean, it was helpful to be able to like fly back and forth at a low cost. So that was cool. But to be honest, man, it got to a certain point that it was bad. I mean, the seats, they're thin. There's not a lot of room. They're uncomfortable. And then, you know what sucks about it too is like, how come they can't naturally recline them just a tad, bro? Like, if they were to sit us not straight, because then we're like, my head is like not falling backward. Like, have it so that I can kind of like, my head naturally falls back. It's like you're just naturally at an incline. Why not have the seats that way? Like, why not? And harness them right. I don't know. But it got to a point, there was a flight that I had on Spirit that was just so bad. I was like, you know what? Nah, I'm out of there, bro. Like, so then I started going to Southwest. I think I had been using, not recently, but I was using Southwest for a minute there, because you just kind of pay for your ticket and land where you land, pops. They don't give you a seat or nothing. You get up out there, you might have to bite somebody to get your seat. You know what I'm saying? So there's that, man. Spirit Airlines, dude. What else I got to say on this, man? Yeah, that's pretty much it. Spirit Airlines, we'll see who takes their place. But I'm kind of in the middle. I want a nice middle ground airline, because I don't want to spend too much. It's not worth it to spend on crazy flights. Hell no, bro. Like, look, we're not doing none of that. You know, I'm trying to see, you know who's gonna really put it on game? Chad Ochocinco. Ocho knows what airline, whatever Ocho's gonna fly is where I'm gonna fly. I need to hear what Ocho said about this. Okay, so up next, the hantavirus, specifically the Andes virus strain in recent news, made headlines due to a deadly cluster linked to the MV Hondias cruise ship in May 2026. The outbreak involved rodent exposure and limited human-to-human transmission, has caused around 11 cases and 3 deaths among passengers and crew, prompting global monitoring, contact tracing for travelers returning to multiple countries, including the US, and heightened public health alerts. So apparently we have a new virus. Now, I will say, first and foremost, I am not a medical professional, and my comments on the matter, take them with a grain of salt. I'm just here for entertainment purposes. I don't know anything official. I'm not here to scare you. I'm not here to whatever. Do your own research, for real. Okay? All right. Well, I don't know much about it. I'll say that. But I remember when we were first hearing about COVID and the coronavirus, and I remember thinking, oh my God, like for that one, it was different because you're hearing about it happen. You've only ever seen movies, because now we have COVID to look back at. It's what I'm doing now. But think about what it was like before we have 2020 vision about what it is now. But when COVID was first happening, I'm thinking, okay, there's this virus that people are getting and it spreads airborne, and you don't know that when you have it because it sits dormant for 2 weeks. So it's kind of like you don't get symptoms pretty quick where we can isolate it fast. Like, it was scary, dude. I remember thinking at one point, like, whoa, I thought we were gonna get to the point of martial law, where we're gonna be shut down and have military monitoring our curfews and stuff. I thought we were gonna get to that. I remember seriously telling my family, I said, family, I will not let this family starve. And I meant that. It got to that point in the beginning that I was like, what? Because the world shut down. Like, say what you want about the conspiracy theories around it, but the truth of the matter is that the world did shut down, and that has never happened. Like, that felt so like, wow. I was very conscious of thinking, like, we lived through a huge, like, a historic event. Because no matter if it's a serious thing later or a not so serious thing later, the events happened, bro. It was crazy. But I don't know. I don't carry heavy, like, emotions towards any of the viruses that we've had recently. So when I see the news about another one, I almost want to, like, brush it off. But there's that little piece inside of me that's thinking, oh, it's just what if? What if? Because from what I've heard about this one is that it's also dormant, or it's also like, it's a quiet, you can't tell. It sits quiet. It sits dormant for a period of time. So, and it's airborne. You can get it from the air by breathing it in, which is terrible. Like, man. But man, dude, for it to be isolated on a cruise. Hey, man, cruise ships are a social experiment, dude. And that's because I love cruises, man. I love cruises, but they are a social experiment, bro. Because this thing got trapped on a cruise. This new virus got trapped on a cruise. That's horrible, dude. And it spread through the air. So, like, I can't imagine if I was trapped on that cruise, I would be so pissed off, because you're gonna be sitting anywhere on that damn cruise. You're gonna be sitting in an area that's air conditioned. That's gonna be ventilating the same damn air. Meanwhile, there's a virus that travels through the damn air. So you're just pretty much sitting in it knowing, I'm getting baked right now. We're hotboxing this cruise with the new virus. Like, that sounds like some evil billionaire social experiment type scenario. That's like the billionaires are out there doing their own Mr. Beast types of videos. That sounds like a Mr. Beast video. Hey, Mr. Beast, look, hey, he's getting all that success because all them little secret society billionaires, they like the way he thinks. He's got that same type of Squid Games type of, creativity when it comes to social experiment type of games. I don't like all that. But man, that's horrible, dude. That's horrible, man. Hey, again, look, I started all this by saying, take what I'm saying with a grain of salt, because I'm not a professional, and I mean that. Because come to find out, if this thing is actually for real, then that's a scary situation. So for the people that are on that cruise, I'll take a look. I don't know if anybody said anything from that. I don't think anybody's come out and said anything just yet, but we will be looking at it closely. But thinking about, look, here's one thing about when the world shut down during COVID, I mean, they was handing out stacks of cash like it was nothing. I mean, bring me my money. Hey, but we'll be monitoring this thing pretty closely, dude. I don't know. I don't need no viruses, man. The New England Patriots have released their schedule, and I want to say that the PR team is completely on operation clean up the damn image of the team, because they went with the most vanilla and the most, like, safe and the most, like, what do you call it? Eye bleach thing you can have ever gone, and it's puppies battling with toys, like little plush toys, and just like a little voiceover and a graphic saying the team they're going to play, and a small little comment like, oh, Buffalo in a new stadium, we'll take them out. It's like the most wholesome video and like that you could have done. And that kind of makes me sad, dude. That kind of makes me sad. Look, I think if we're the Patriots organization, just look, Mike Vrabel, come on, dog, be better. But whatever happened. Your life outside of football is your life outside of football. At the end of the day, you're the coach of this team. You need to be the coach. You need to be the leader of men. So address the team, do whatever you need to do about the issues. If you guys don't know, Mike Vrabel, the coach of the Patriots, he was involved in an affair, and more things keep dropping about it. Instead of dropping all the information at once, they're giving little tidbits to kind of keep it going. People are speculating that there was a private investigator involved, like the woman's husband potentially hired a private investigator to figure it all out, and now they're dropping that tea like crazily. So Mike Vrabel has a terrible look because his message has always been about being an honorable person and man, and like the importance of family was huge about like in his speeches to the team and stuff. And so people are saying that that's going to impact the team. Other people have said, look, these players, if we're being honest, they're probably involved in some scandalous activity themselves. They don't give a damn. And as dark as that may sound, I feel like that could be true. I feel like that could be and probably is true, with maybe some exceptions. But the point is that something major happened. Address it, nip it in the bud, work on that, and then let's go. So the schedule release came out, and it's like a brand wash video. For me, I feel like get past it and do something exciting, bro. You got Mike Vrabel and the boys. They're fired up just in the Super Bowl. Didn't win it. So you got to be strict. You got to, lock down, lock in for sure. But look, dude, come on, man. Could have been something more exciting. With that said, though, let's look at the schedule. I'm going to give you guys my thoughts. And also, let me set the table for this topic. I mean, what did I have here? The New England Patriots released their 2026 NFL regular season schedule in mid-May. As defending AFC champions, they opened the road against the Seattle Seahawks in a Super Bowl rematch on September 29 and have 6 nationally televised games, setting up a tough slate with primetime matchups. Okay, yeah, well, looking at the schedule, I'm going to tell you guys what I think is going to be the outcome of these games. And so, September 9, we got primetime Seattle Seahawks. That's going to be a tough game. And that's going to be a tough one, dude. That's going to be a tough game. I think I think the Seahawks probably going to get that one, bro. That's going to be a tough game to win. If the Patriots come out swinging and win game 1, though, versus Seahawks. But here's the opportunity, though. It's the rematch. The Patriots want to establish this is a damn new year. This is the team that just took us out. And that's the type of attitude, not puppies. If the puppy Patriots come out, we're not winning game 1. But if the new Patriots embodying that, hey, yeah, you got something to say, then say it. We don't give a damn. New England Patriots, LFG, till we die. TB12, let go. There's an opportunity. We're gonna see how the team responds. I think Vrabel gets the boys on track, dude. Okay, then you got Buffalo Bills. They're in shambles. I mean, the organization blew up. They let go of their head coach, which was a mistake. They got a new stadium. They're trying it. They're not. I don't know. Josh Allen's a good quarterback, but I'm not worried about the Buffalo Bills as a whole. I think the Patriots take them out. We got the Bears. Caleb Williams, I think, is a phenomenal talent. That's at 8:15 p.m. That's prime time, baby. That's going to be an exciting game. I'm excited to see that. I like the Patriots defense to rattle Caleb Williams into some bad decisions. Then we got the Lions at 9:30 a.m. in Munich. That's a good team. I think that's going to be another one of those challenging games because the Lions are a pretty well-oiled machine. They're a good organization. The thing for them, though, is that Jared Goff, I don't know how many more years of this type of performance he has left. I mean, he's been playing really, really well, and he's been this way for quite some time, and he was pretty good when he was with the Rams. Sorry, I'm trying to fix this. He was pretty good when he was with the Rams and everything, but, like, I don't know. I feel like it's possible to expect a little bit of a drop off from him. So we'll see. But based on what I'm seeing right now, I could give that one to the Lions. And then we have 4:25 December 6th, the Bills. They're definitely not going to take us out. They're not going to win both games. to be honest, I feel like the Patriots probably win this one and the Bills take the first one. I think that's probably more possible. So there's a chance, hold on, rewinding just a tad. There's a chance that the Patriots start the season 0-2. Like, I can see them dropping to the Seahawks, just like I can see them winning, all right? I don't want all you guys to be all upset about me being... I'm trying my best to be real and not to try to be like a delusional fan here. But there's a chance they can drop the first 2 games, which would put more pressure on the Bears game that maybe otherwise wouldn't be there. Because I feel like the Bears game has the potential to be a tough game that they kind of sort of take control over towards the end, or it can be a difficult game as heck, because Caleb Williams thrives in chaos. Like, that's one of my favorite traits about Caleb Williams. So, okay, looks pretty interesting. Then we got the Jets. Not worried about the Jets. I'm sorry. You got the Steelers. Bro, I've been reading this schedule in the wrong damn order this entire time. All right, because I'm gonna go quicker. What the hell? Okay, so September 9 versus the Seahawks. I think we're gonna go lightning round. We'll give it to the Seahawks. The Steelers, they're lost and confused. Aaron Rodgers is, I don't know what he's doing. Patriots win. The Jaguars, I know they had a fantastic year last year, and the defense was playing great, and all of a sudden, long-haired guy playing great. All of a sudden, I don't buy it. Look, all these players, you look about players like Mahomes, Josh Allen, you think about Brady, and even players before like Roethlisberger, Manning, and all these players that have been in the league for a long time in an organization for a while, and they're consistently good. It has everyone spoiled thinking that happens all the time. It's possible. It's more often than not that people go one and done. I don't think, I'm calling that on the Jaguars. I'm going to just say that. The Bills, all of a sudden that's week 4. Okay, so week 4 at 4, I would have to see their schedule to have a better answer to this question. But the Patriots, you know what? I like them here. The Patriots win. They roll. Versus the Raiders, Patriots. Look, the Patriots, the Raiders have quarterback. They're going to have quarterback trouble. It's going to be an interesting year for them. The Jets, not worried about the Jets. We're taking them out. The Bears, that game now having been, okay, I think the Patriots going to have maybe 2 losses by the time they get there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So like 4-2 by the time they get to the Bears. That's going to be a big one. In prime time, I like Patriots, bro. I do. The Dolphins, they're a mess. The Patriots going to win this one. The Packers, I'll give that one to the Packers. They're, for as well-oiled a machine as the Patriots are right now, the Packers are a few steps down the road, although Drake May did get to the Super Bowl. Let's go, baby! But I'll give that to the Packers. They're a hell of an organization. November 15, this is where the drama of the team starts to happen. I think that the Patriots lose against the Lions, and that starts the narrative of like, what happened? You dropped versus the Packers, you dropped versus the Lions. These are the real good competitions. I mean, all you've beaten was the Jets and the Raiders that are struggling, and the old Aaron Rodgers. That's what people are going to be saying. And so we're going into the bye week drama. I mean, the whole organization's blowing up, talking about, it was all because of Vrabel's issues off the field, and is the team focused, and is their division. Well, then we come out versus the Chargers. And while I think that the Chargers have the right coach, and they have the right quarterback, and the right receiver or whatever, I just think it's the wrong time in their careers, bro. I think Justin Herbert, and I would love him to prove me wrong, but I think that Justin Herbert is he got the coach too late. I don't think he's got the juice to do it at this point. He's like, I don't know. So I think they come out, silence the haters, take out the Chargers. And then we got the Bills, 4:25 p.m., December 6th. What did I say about the first one? So we took them out. That's going to be a heated game. I like us, bro. I say what I say about the Bills, bro. I feel like this season is going to be an eye-opening season where we're going to say that it's time to really shake up Buffalo. Like, what happens to Josh Allen? I don't know. I just feel that. Vikings, not worried about that. Jay Jettas, look, you know what team you want to be on, Pop. Come on over. Then we got Kansas City. That's going to be a fantastic game. December 21st, getting to late in the year, almost in January football. Ooh, that's going to be a high implications game. Curious to see how Mahomes looks. But at this point in the season, he's already past being monitored, right? Like the first couple of games, he might be limited, or I don't know how they're going to monitor him. But at this point, he is going to be what he is going to be. Now, I think about Mahomes, what I was saying earlier about like how we've seen the longevity of certain players and expect it on everybody. Mahomes is kind of in that category right now. So we're comparing him to the likes of Brady, rightfully so, because he's won. Mahomes is a son of a gun, and he has won championships. But he's already been playing for a good amount of years. And just because Brady extended his career for as long as he did, doesn't mean that it's easy to do. And that necessarily he's going to do it. We'll see if Mahomes has the ability to stay locked in and stay as effective as he's been. And I don't know, he might. I think, to be fair, let's assume that he is. If he's on that call sheet until he shows me otherwise, Mahomes is who he is. I think the Chiefs get that game. But that'd be an amazing one to win. The Patriots do play up to their opponents for the most part. We got the Jets. We're going to win that. We got the Broncos. That might be a tough one, TBD. We could drop that one depending if their defense comes to play this year. And then we win versus the Dolphins. So I think as a total, I have us winning or losing. Let me count the losses. I think it'd be easier to do. I got them going 12-5. I got the Patriots going 12-5. And is that so crazy to say? I mean, they were in the Super Bowl, were they not? Everyone had the same opportunity to get there, had they not? So, I think the Patriots go 12-5 this season, and it's going to be an exciting season. Now, we're definitely in a weird time right now because of all the variable stuff coming out. But look, here's what I think the Patriots need to do. I was against the idea of getting AJ Brown for so long because I saw what he did with the Eagles. I saw that they had a phenomenal team, and they were still phenomenal, and they were still winning last year until he decided to blow it all up. Yeah, he wasn't getting targeted as much as before, but they were still winning. And that was because the team was being productive elsewhere with Saquon Barkley. And here's my thing. Look, to be a winning organization, you have to be able to manage egos because you have to have star players on the team. But if you have a lot of star players, that means you have a lot of people that believe that they can impact the game. And so AJ Brown, rightfully so, believes, hey, I can be impacting too. And I think you can. But how about this scenario, AJ Brown? How about right now? They're cooking. Let them cook and let that ride out. You could just hang out, get your yards when we need it, and just chill out because we'll need you at some point. Just like the year that the Eagles won the Super Bowl, it was all Barkley all the way until the Super Bowl. And then they put a lid on Barkley. Barkley was nowhere to be found. And then you saw Jalen Hurts step up and win him the game. And that's what I was thinking. Hey, if I'm the Eagles, I'm thinking we got Saquon still cooking. Ride that until we can't. And then once that doesn't work, and then let's get the offensive game popping, boy. Let's get AJ Brown. Let's get Devonta Smith. Let's get these gentlemen cooking. And then let's just say they put a lid on that. Then all of a sudden, hey, let's see that dual threat Jalen Hurts. Let's get him on running. Let's get him throwing darts. And then they get a lid on that. And you kind of just have many ways to operate, and that makes the team powerful. And so the fact that he wasn't able to see that and blew it up, and I think they crumbled because of that. Their team, there was no reason why the Eagles couldn't be in the Super Bowl, considering just how the other teams played. But they just imploded. And if you're capable of doing that once, you're capable of doing that twice. And so for me, I'm thinking we have a young Drake May, who I believe is going to be an incredible athlete and quarterback in this league. The last thing we need is for him to have a real diva receiver. Now, I think that AJ Brown is going to be extremely happy with the Patriots because they need a number one receiver that wants the ball all the time, and Drake May can get it there, and that's going to be exciting to see. But before I get to that, the fact that AJ Brown was able to destroy the Eagles' chances, I don't want him to do that and negatively impact Drake May. Now, when we had Stephon Diggs last year, that was kind of sort of the same worry, but it just happened to incredibly work out. Stephon Diggs turned out to be an incredible leader for the team, and I thought that was awesome to see. But that was the worry, didn't happen there. So with AJ Brown, it's like, man, bro, I don't want that kind of thing to happen. Now, I do think that he has a lot of respect for the Patriots team because clearly he's wanted to be on the Patriots. He was geeking out when he got Edelman's jersey and all this stuff, right? And I do think that his relationship with Mike Vrabel matters, and I think that he does respect Vrabel. So I think that the recipe is there to work out, and it's inevitable. It's gonna happen. It's the writings that we all know that it's gonna happen. AJ Brown is coming to the Patriots, and so because of that, I feel like, you know what? All right, let me start to think positively about the situation. And I think that, look, you were complaining about not getting touches, not being a primary focus on the offense. Well, welcome to the perfect scenario, because in an offensive system where you have Josh McDaniels, who will bring out the best and put you in the positions where your skills are shining in full display, you're in that scenario now. You got Josh McDaniels, and then you got a Drake May, who I do think is a better passer than Jalen Hurts. He's going to get you that ball where it needs to be. I mean, he's capable of doing pinpoint passes, and his deep throw accuracy is incredible. And so I do think that this is going to be pretty awesome for him to have. I'm curious. I think that we're in a shift right now in sports as a whole, where we're seeing like the average duration of a career is longer, and then just medical advancements have caused for folks to heal from injuries quicker and careers to be longer, whatever. So like off the top of my head, AJ Brown for me is kind of giving like an older receiver, just because he's been in the league for a while. He's already had impact plays. He's already won a Super Bowl. Like he's already done a lot. He's got a lot of wear and tear. But so for me, it's like I would almost want someone younger to arise. We'll get a talent from the draft, but I do think that we're gonna have him for a good while. Like I think that this has the potential to be a pair for a good while that helps truly develop Drake May, and so I'm excited to see that. Now, I do think that the Patriots should try their best to bring back Stefon Diggs. So the reason I believe that he was let go is because of his off-field mess and just the stuff with his chef, and she was accusing him of assault. And well, the verdict is out, and he was found innocent from those claims. So it's said out there, it's a fact, he's innocent. And so immediately everyone's saying, hey, well, what the heck? What about Stefon Diggs with the Patriots? And I love it. I think that he was a fantastic fit. I think that we can all agree that off-field issues have nothing to do with your job and responsibility as a football player. Your job is to go out there, put on a uniform, catch the ball, and get it into the end zone, and that's it. Look, Robert Kraft has had some suspicious things happen in his past. We have Vrabel in the midst of a crazy controversy. And then you got Stefon Diggs, which of everybody, I think he's the only person that was found innocent. So I think that, I say that all of that because Robert Kraft's been known to be very strict about that kind of thing. He didn't care too much for it. But you can't throw a stone from a glass house, Pops. You know what I mean? So I think that, especially the fact that this dude was proven innocent. And he was amazing for the team. I mean, he showed up in big time moments, except for the Super Bowl. But I kind of feel that was a bit more on the offensive line and Drake May than it was necessarily Diggs. And then if we're going to get AJ Brown, then that's even better, because Stefon Diggs was capable of being our number one. I mean, he crossed 1,000 yards and 100 catches. And so he had number one production as heck. Like he was completely number one. But now you have AJ Brown, who can be the real number one in his prime with the speed and in his prime. Then you have Stefon Diggs demanding the type of attention that he demands. I think that has the potential to be a wonderful pairing. And so I want to see that happen. I would love nothing more than Stefon Diggs to be back on the team. Now, another receiver that I think we should be on the lookout, and these are actually two players that I think we should be on the lookout as Patriots fans, are number one, Kyle Williams, and number two, Travion Henderson. Those two players are my pick for the most improved in this next season. I think that they are going to be the players that will excel the most, and I'm excited to see what happens, because you look at the skill sets and you see Travion Henderson. I mean, the speed that boy has is it's beautiful to watch. I mean, he has the ability to score an 80+ yard touchdown. He's a big play guy, and I think where his growth opportunity was in reading the holes correctly, reading the lanes correctly. So you get the ball, where are people shifting? Like what's going to open up, or where is it open now? I feel like obviously it's so easy to see this on replay and sitting down watching from TV because they slow everything down, and it's, of course, it's easy to see it this way. So a lot harder to do than what I'm making it sound, but it's possible. And I think that these players develop, and I think he's going to make this improvement. He was a little iffy on those judgments on what hole to really run through. But with his speed, as soon as he develops that, and you better believe he's been working on that, as soon as he shows that skill, that ability to hit the right hole at the right time, oh my God, bro's going to go through that and create that distance. And I'm excited to see that come into full effect. So Patriots fans, be excited about Travion Henderson. Now, Kyle Williams, the same type of example. He's got this like raw, like that weird speed. Same like Travion Henderson. They got that standout speed, that whoa type of speed. And that's something that I'm excited to see. Like I want to see the other stuff paired to that, because I do think he has a good ability to catch the ball. But you got to get on the same page. I want him to be able to be on the same page, right? With the roster that's going to have AJ Brown, who's going to take up the attention that he's going to take up, there's a huge opportunity. Pop Douglas, I hope that I feel like the Pop Douglas role might be flipped with Kyle Williams, just because Williams has that, like, that there's something about you that's different, that thing. You hear athletes talk about, like, oh man, you gotta not only be super disciplined and very damn good, you gotta have like oh yeah, he's very damn good, but his hands, they're just weird. Or, oh man, the throw is just whoa. Or his ability to jump is like, you got that thing, that one special move that you have. Well, I don't know that Pop Douglas has that one special move. You know what I mean? I don't think he has abnormal speed or abnormal hands or abnormal really anything. I think he's just a really good player, and he has really great heart and effort. But I don't know that there's the other stuff. Well, Kyle Williams has that. And Pop Douglas had a huge opportunity to rise to the occasion last year. You got Stephon Diggs. Well, I was thinking it's going to be Stephon Diggs, Pop Douglas, and Hunter Henry. But you didn't really see that. Hunter Henry showed up. Stephon Diggs definitely showed up. And Pop Douglas, at times, I felt like we expected a little bit more. And while I do think that, hey, hopefully we can keep everybody around, what I've seen about football, it's a little different than basketball, bro. It's kind of more cutthroat. You're expected to perform now. I mean, look at Polk, Jalen Polk, and Javon Baker. Those were receivers I was really stoked about. And I was surprised to see we moved on quick. And so I'm thinking, dang, okay, well, in this case, if it's going to have to move on quick, I see the roster like this. AJ Brown, hopefully, fingers crossed, Stephon Diggs, then Kyle Williams. And then we have like our Hunter Henry, our tight ends and whatever else. And I know we carry more than 3 receivers, but as our main pieces that are out there impacting the game at any given time. And so that's who I'm excited about, dude. I mean, it's going to be an exciting year, dude. I want to cover more Patriot stuff. So as more news comes out, I'm definitely going to be covering Victor Wembanyama dominates the Oklahoma City Thunder in a thrilling Western Conference Finals Game 1. The San Antonio Spurs phenom exploded for 41 points, 24 rebounds, 3 assists, and 3 blocks in a 122-115 double overtime victory over OKC. The 22-year-old delivered a historic performance, including a clutch deep 3 to force a second overtime, helping the young Spurs steal the road win in an instant classic. Dude, honestly, I think that we are in for a treat when it comes to the Western Conference Finals, because this series is going to determine who the winner of the NBA Finals is going to be. I've said it in my video before that these two teams are playing at a level that we have never seen any teams play at. Like, we're literally seeing the passing of the torch, and it's happening between these two teams. We were hoping for, especially me being a Lakers fan, for LeBron to end off with a ring and kind of walk off into glory with a ring, or for Steph Curry to get a ring before he retires. And I don't think that's just going to happen. There's a scenario in which LeBron teams up with Steph, and hey, can we figure out a way to get KD there too? And let's all get to the Golden State with Draymond, and let's figure something out. Especially that Bron's a free agent, so that could happen. Now, that might be, but look, that wouldn't even be enough, man. I was trying to figure out a way in my mind to paint the picture of a scenario in which that happens, and I just can't see it, because when you look at these two teams, first and foremost, let's talk about OKC. I mean, on the night that Shai Gilgeous-Alexander gets his MVP award, Wemby sitting there watching this happen, and we know how Wemby gets about that kind of thing. I mean, think about Chet Holmgren winning whatever the heck he won over Wemby, and you see Wemby on the side just cutting his jersey up. He's a freak. So you see him there on that night where SGA gets his award. Wemby goes in there and dominates. I am huge on knowing when these moments occur that these players or people have the opportunity to rise to another level. And that's what I'm saying. This is a different level. I mean, I was watching this, I'm thinking, okay, right, if SGA is for real like that, he's going to score a bucket, right? You got to score a bucket here. You got to answer. You got to save your team. And he would do it again and again and again. I got to respect to SGA. I give him a lot of flack for the way he plays and how he baits for fouls. I hate that. Running and instead of trying to score, you're trying to throw yourself onto somebody to get a foul instead of score. Well, look, when the going gets tough, one thing you can say about SGA is that he knows how to score. Now, that's the whole thing about SGA is that, like, you got to respect his ability to manipulate the game. Like, everyone can do it, so why not? Why not do it? He's just the best at it. But tying it all together, there were these moments SJ's got to do it, and he was doing it. Ethical ball. I mean, we were watching ethical ball, but the best level of it. This is the best. These are the best in the world. Funny enough, you got France and Canada as the two main stars going at it. No USA player. Insane, by the way. But it was such a treat to watch this game. I mean, back and forth, SGA responding with ethical ball. And then I would think, okay, Wemby, look, they call you the alien. They said it's your time. They say, are you really gonna shut down OKC's dynasty before it's even fully been able to start? I mean, they won one, but you don't become a dynasty until you win more than one. And sure enough, Wemby would respond. I mean, and the thing, guys, is that these plays that we were looking at were different. They were different. Let me explain how. SGA was dunking. I mean, two hands on the rim type of dunk. Then he doesn't do that. Like, to help you guys understand, he doesn't typically dunk like that. Meaning, these players were giving their all, maximum effort. I mean, doing highlight moments, out of character moments, or like, you see Wemby doing a pull-up three from the logo. I mean, that was incredible. To have your 7'5", 7'5", 7'6", however tall that dude is, pull up, that's just unusual. Because then what's the deficiency in your game? If you're going to hit those kinds of threes, but then you see in a different play, Wemby go from the three-pointer, take one step from the three-pointer all the way to under the basket, and then just dunk it. But like with authority, left and right. But then SGA, it was just left and right, magical moments. This series is incredible. So I think about it, and I think that there are no other teams that are capable of rising to this occasion. And for the first time, I saw something that I have never seen from OKC, from this OKC team. And what I saw was that they were fighting hard. What happened to them in game one of the Western Conference Finals is what they do to pretty much every other team. And that is, we are just going to beat you off. We're just better than you. And you'll see some teams pull up masterful performances against them, and they're kind of like going at 50%, 60%, 80%, not 100, not even 110. But we saw for the first time the Thunder lose a game that they looked like, they had magical performances and they still lost. Meanwhile, the Spurs played a game that we all said they could play better though. That is impressive. Because you think about the turnovers that they had, it was just bad. They were a young team. I think about the point guard, I think his name is Dylan Harper. And there was a lot of moments there, and credit to him for still scoring, but there was a moment there where he's dribbling the ball, and the defense that's being played is like, we're watching an anime happen right now, guys. It's insane. He's getting attacked, and he's losing the ball, and he's jumping, and he's trying to, and it's just, what do you do? Like, relax, just calm down, walk it slowly. If they're pressuring you, just kind of protect it, pass it up, give it to Wemby. He's on the team, don't worry about it. And then the turnovers after turnover after turnover. And I'm thinking, dude, they're capable of another year. And they still beat OKC on the night of SGA's MVP ceremony. They swept the Lakers. I think they swept Phoenix. So they were on an 8-game win streak, not counting whatever they were just coming off of in the regular season. I'm sure great. So that was a massive statement game. Now, the thing about the Spurs that are scary is that they don't give a damn about nothing. I mean, you see Stephon Castle say, yeah, I mean, it's not so surprising when you got the best player in the world. You know what that's saying? I don't give a damn about y'all's MVP. We don't care about none of that over here. We know what we got in our locker room, and that's what we're confident on. And I love that energy. I love that attitude. And by the way, I want to talk about Victor Wembanyama's stance about crying. I saw this post about him, or this interview clip of him being asked about him expressing his emotions and like being okay about showing himself cry. He was crying after a win that he was happy about. And he said, I feel like it's okay for us to be able to cry. I don't see the issue in it. I don't see the problem at all. And I think those are like those random stereotypes that are just placed on us, right? Like just to make us feel uncomfortable with crying when it should be an emotion that we should feel comfortable to express. So I just don't agree with that overall sentiment, is what he was saying. Which is why I'm able to cry, he said. And I love that. I love Victor Wembanyama for the league, and I think he's going to be the new face of the league because he's the full package. For one, on the other side of that crying topic, he's incredibly tough and competitive and like a fighter. Think about Kevin Garnett. Kevin Garnett was a player that was, if you try to go up in this lane, mother F, try me again, boy. Like, say that with your chest then. If you're going to sit there and say something aggressive. Like, he was like that kind of player. Wemby's got that kind of player. I mean, he was working with Kevin Garnett in the offseason. He went to go train with the Monks this last offseason, then went to go hang out with Kevin Garnett. Polar opposites. But Wemby's got he's got that same competitive spirit like a Garnett, but then he's got that same ability to say like, well, you know what? I'm going to cry after we win a game that's a regular season game, not playoffs. Like, I'm going to cry because it's impactful and it means something. We're human. We express and we feel. And I think that's okay. And I love that. I love that about him. I love how going into the All-Star game, he says, I don't care about what nobody else is doing. I'm there to compete and I'm there to win it. And he was blocking shots and he was doing that because the whole complaint about the All-Star game recently has been that everybody's just kind of going half-assed and we don't get really a good show, a good competition, a good game. And Wemby's changing that, and I love that. And the beautiful thing about it is that he's got the skill set to back that up. Because if you're not a good player, if you don't put up 41 points, 20 rebounds in 2 overtimes against OKC and win on the night of the 2-time MVP, the back-to-back MVP, if you don't do what you did versus that team, then quiet down, all the extra antics, stop all of the whatever. Like, everyone has less patience for what you do, but he has the incredible talent to back these words and these things that he's doing. For example, Shaq, my favorite big man of all time, the most dominant big man of all time, Shaq Diesel, not an answer for him. Shaq, alongside every Wemby hater that you can hear, if you want to identify them, this is what they sound like. I just don't like how he's always trying to dribble and shoot. Like, bro, you're a big. Get down there and dunk him, bro. You're 7'5", right? That's what the haters sound like. Why? Because for some reason we want to define how he should be playing. Well, everyone was saying that. By the way, Shaq has given Wemby the endorsement of the best big man of all time ever created. Well, he's got to put the work together and accrue the championships and the MVPs and stuff. He's got to do the work, but the best ever created. So that's a huge endorsement. So I want to say a lot of love for Shaq. But everyone was wanting to say how Wemby should be playing and how he shouldn't be dribbling. Wow, you're a big man. It's like, bro, stop that. He has the skill set of a guard, and he was working with Jamal. Was he working with Jamal Crawford? I'm pretty sure Wembanyama was working with Jamal Crawford in one of his off-season camps, which is insane to work with the groups of people that he's been working with. But we're seeing Wemby blossom. Like, I love that he's so true to himself that he didn't let the outside noise get to him, because we're seeing him being able to dribble and do a pull-up 3 to send it into the second overtime. And you're down 3 when he shot that 2. You gotta be a bad dude to take that shot. make it insane. And so I love it. I love Wemby for the face of the league because he's got the intense competitiveness to bring it back even to the All-Star game. I don't care about all you other stars that don't want to compete in this game. That's good for y'all. Then get embarrassed by my blocks because that's what's going to happen to y'all. I love that type of competition. But I love the sense of your human nature and being able to cry and being okay with that and showing that. I also love the effect that that's having on the rest of the league. We have seen this year more than any other year current NBA players at playoff games that they are not in, and they are attending as fans, attending in the stands, on the sidelines, in the suites, and they're facing a lot of criticism from ex-players for that as well, saying that's not in the spirit of competition. And you know that I am the kind of person that loves competition. That's why I love sports. That's why I love to play video games. That's why I love that. I love to see excellent people compete and all that stuff, right? And so I feel like you would think that'd be something I would agree with these people on about, bro, you're an NBA player. Bro, you should be in that game. Get in that game yourself, bro. Don't go watch that. But I, for some reason, don't feel that way about it. I see these players, the way they're embracing each other, the way they're competing, and it seems like good competition, but they're embracing their skin. You look at Jared McCain with his crazy dances and his painted fingernails. You think about Caleb Williams. We're talking about NFL earlier. And then you see Wemby crying, but then you see these players coming to the game supporting each other. And I think that it's wonderful, bro. It's wonderful. The NBA is in a healthy spot. This is awesome. Any sort of negative talk about any of these things that I was mentioning, that's the old regime. They're going away, bro. Like we're not in that. We're seeing a different NBA. And it's exciting, dude. I'm excited about it. So going back to the series and Wemby and all that, it's exciting, man. It's exciting. And actually, like, going back to Shaq even, and his endorsement of Wemby, let me actually put that video up real quick. Okay, so this is Shaq on Victor Wembanyama.
Man, I said this to you and the guy. I think Wemby is the first perfect big man that's ever created. Can shoot free throws, play defense, play offense. He's a great team player. I'm happy for the Spurs. I'm happy for Wendy, and for me, in a long time, he's a joy to watch.
Shaq has given the endorsement to Victor Wembanyama, saying he is the first perfect big man to ever be created. He can shoot, he can block, he can defend. And then he later goes on to say that he doesn't usually like all the shooting and all the extra stuff that big men do, but that for Victor Wembanyama, like, you got it. You can do that. And I love that so much, dude. Like, that is cool. And coming from Shaq has been known to go after big men. I mean, whenever I think Wemby won an MVP. When Joker won an MVP, I think he told him, "Hey, you all, I should have gone to someone else, but whatever." And then ends up asking a question. This was like in a post-game interview, which I thought, like, damn, that was rude as hell. It was very documented. Dwight Howard was a big man that was coming after Shaq, as in he was in the league after Shaq. And he was real critical about him. So anytime he sees that a player has potential, he is hard on them because he talks about that's how it was for him. His dad he called his dad General. His dad was like a military man, was very hard on him. And then he got that kind of treatment when he came in. When Shaq was coming to the league, I think it was Wilt Chamberlain, or I don't know who it was, that was being difficult to Shaq. And that Shaq saw it as a challenge and said, okay, that he wanted to crash out and be tough about it, but that his mom said, look, son, if they're saying something, there's got to be truth in it. And they must see it. They are seeing something in you, and they're saying this is what you need to do to get to that better part of you. And so Shaq doesn't do it out of hate, although sometimes can come across that way big time, or his timing could be pretty rough. But Shaq doesn't give his blessing to many folks. So Shaq giving his blessing to Victor Wembanyama is cool to see, bro. And especially him being my favorite big man, it's put me on watch on Wemby. And Wemby, look, Wemby doesn't need Shaq's endorsement for what Wemby's about to do in this league and in his career, because Wemby's numbers and his performances are speaking for themselves. So NBA fans, if your team just got knocked out of the playoffs, or if you haven't watched basketball in a while and you're a fan of the old game, This series, Western Conference Finals, is the series to watch to get you back into the beautiful game of basketball, because we're seeing it on a level that we can't see otherwise. This that we're seeing are two anime characters clashing and fighting with different power-ups and level ups. I need someone to make that a video, bro. Have like Wemby being a tall, slender dude that's capable of like icy fast movements with dunks and crazy stuff, and have SGA be like a dude that has like a bag and comes out with different, like kind of like a Pokemon / Green Goblin type of deal, hits you with the crazy glitch type of move. Like, I don't know, dude, because these two teams look, it's a joy. It's going to be a joy to watch. I mean, I'm excited for the Knicks and the Cavaliers, but I mean, dude, in reality, what we're seeing over here is show time. So get your buckets of popcorn out, get your sodas filled up, and put your seatbelts on, ladies and gentlemen, because it's about to be a show. Okay, y'all. Well, hey, that pretty much concludes this episode of the Background Noise podcast. Again, I appreciate you guys for stopping by. As always, it's a pleasure being with you guys on this show. Right into the Background Noise podcast at Background Noise Podcast at SEVENTHAURA.com, because I want you guys to be involved in what we got going on here. Browse SEVENTHAURA.com. That to me, there is like a passion project that just embraces what I'm going through in my life right now and discovering your inner creativity. And SEVENTHAURA, the meaning behind the brand is the belief that art is from within, and that you are the art, not the product that you produce, but that you are the art. And so SEVENTHAURA is like a reminder of that belief. And so if you want to browse anything there, do that, SEVENTHAURA.com. Everything is made to order, so expect longer shipping times, but I promise it'll get to you. But yeah, man, that's fun, man. That was a fun episode, back to full production. Like I said, we've been doing a lot of basketball videos, and those were going pretty good. So I was kind of focusing my time on that. But we're back into full swing Background Noise podcast. We got a couple of guests lined up. It's going to be exciting. So stay tuned, subscribe, like, share with everybody, with your homies and your homies' friends and your homies' friends and all of their friends too. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Appreciate it.